and for myself because I lived on a boat for about 2 years, and I was using this motor on the dinghy to get to shore and back to the boat. So I decided I'd just get it back together, fix it up, get it going. See what happens. So this is the crank that I've already pulled out of the 5-horse Mercury, piston, etc. And this is the bearing that got salt water in it. So I believe it's because the heat gasket started leaking salt water into this area. Now, as you can see, it's pretty dry, and when I spin it, you'll hear the sound it makes. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's pretty terrible. That was absolutely shot. I'm surprised it didn't fly to pieces. So I've used the pulley puller and a chisel and just hammered into those gaps there, and they come off quite easily. The bottom bearing, upper bearing, as you can see, it's still nice and quiet. There's an old motor, so I'm not going to go ahead and pull the entire thing apart and replace every bearing and all that sort of thing. I just want to replace the stuffed one and get it back together and get it going. This is the little 5-horse Mercury that I used when I was staying on my boat on a swinging mooring for about 2 years, and it done me well, so that's the reason I want to just get it back together going again. This is the new seal here to replace the old one, and this is the seal that was on the top side, and it's still in okay condition, so I'm just going to reuse that one. So that gives me my 2 seals and the new bearing. The new bearing, I noticed it's got some small differences, and you can pretty much see that yourselves really. First of all, you got the pin sticking out, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to drill a hole there and put that little pin into the side of this new one or not. I probably won't. The guy in the shop said there's just different tolerances between these two types of bearing. As you can see, this one's got a seal on both sides, whether this one here was just like that and never had anything sealing that up, so that should be an extra once you've already got a bit of a seal to keep that all together, and then you put another seal on top of that. It should be pretty good. So that bearing there, it's going to go onto there, get tapped down, and it should work out good. That's the silicone that I'm going to use to reassemble. Just one that I've started using, seems to be pretty good. It's not quite big enough, not sliding over top of that. I have to get another one. Right, I'll use the socket instead. It's going to fit over it. Almost there. Just want to bring that down a bit further to get it about the same distance as that is from that part. So feel gauge, check that, get one that's close to that gap. That one there feels good. What's that? Let's say 0.50. There we go. There we are. Let's see if the gap's about. It should be pretty accurate. And seal. Put that on that way. Yeah, let's take the nut back off, don't we? There we have it. Bearings on, seal's ready. This bearing's fine, that seal's fine. A little bit of stuff to clean off it. A couple bits of that, yeah. A little bit of damage on there. Very small amount. Got a lot of scoring going around there, but that'll be okay. I'll put it all, once I get it back together, I'll see if she starts up, and if there's not enough compression, then I might change the 2 rings, go back, pull it apart again and change the rings. Okay, so you've seen that side. Now this is off the rest of it. I just went out and pulled that off. We've seen that before. Right, so I'm just going to undo this here again. It's already sort of, well, supposedly finger tight. Just going to undo those, separate that, check it, and see whether we're just good to throw back together or not. A little bit tighter, but it's coming undone. reverse that should just come apart. Right, clean all the stuff off. Clean that stuff there off. And this should be just put all that back together. Right, so I've cleaned up this, got surfaces as clean as I want to get them. Sprayed a bit of brake cleaner on there. Use a rag, just wipe them down. A bit of a scrape. Same with this one. It's good as I want to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to put some grey sealer around here, etc. Place that into it and put that piece there back on. Oh. So I added these and I actually forgot to put those on earlier, like a locator, and this one here as well. And they just fall into this groove and they only go in one way, and this little pin here on the old bearing that's still on there has to go into this little groove just here. But the new bearing doesn't have it, so I'm not going to put it on or in. Right, let's get this stuff on. A little bit of two-stroke oil on the rings, but over the piston, help slide it in. That's just what I want to use, so you can use whatever you want, your choice. Okay, actually this is see a bit there. So just going to slide the whole piston into the hole and get a little bit of pressure on the wiggle. And it should just wind its way in because it's got a tapering on the bottom of the bore. And there we go, it's sliding in, nice. Turn these so the wider sides down because that's the way they need to be fitted on this one. So this is just how I'm doing it, because I'm just slapping the motor back together with a new bearing and new seal.